You have to do it quick. There are people, former IDPs who wait, who have been waiting for such a long time, and now they still have to wait while their homeland, their native cities, villages will be ready. So you have to be quick, and there is no way not to be quick enough. There are many challenges, starting from demining, which is the biggest obstacle so far. You cannot start proper planning even without physical access to the territories. But we're trying to do our best, all the government dealing with this issue. There is a coordination headquarter established specifically for this region, regeneration. So all this, and of course vision of Mr. President, his personal participation in so many different tasks supports and inspires us. We're following legislation, we have to. There is a certain hierarchy of special planning document by construction code, urban planning code of Azerbaijan. First of all, you have to develop general plan. There are three types of planning. We call it general plan, the first widest scale when you're looking at the whole region. And I have this document here with me. I can show you some details. So you look at the whole region. You thinking about each and every settlement. You're fixing its borders, considering growth on bigger population years ahead. And I have to tell that this planning documents is quite long-term planning. We have to prepare them for next 20 years. And then you're considering all the natural resources, all the infrastructure, roads, railroads, airports, forests, agricultural land, everything. So that's where we started. That's the first outcome. It took us about a year, a bit more than a year, to develop that document. And only based on that document, you have to develop next types of document, master plans for each and every city, which is main zoning document. You zoning city, you identifying the priorities of future development of every city. You fixing some design code issues, the future look of the city, architecture. You have to think about that as well. But of course, first of all, it's about how you use land, how you place buildings, on which distance, how much public space you have, and etc. And then you have to develop detailed plan. That's where when you go into the city, taking parts of it, 5 hectares, 50 hectares, 100 hectares, depending on how big is the city. And then you do detailed planning. That's where you plan all the quarters, all the streets, all the buildings. So I believe this approach, when you structure your work within these 3 different types of documents, is the best way to achieve results, considering that it's different landscape, not all areas flat. There is a huge part which is mountainous, some flat. I think it's not. I think it gives us a vision. It gives us proper vision, even instruction, and inspires all of us, because all the government members, and not just government, every citizen of Azerbaijan have some personal task within this huge project. So it's good that there is instruction on the highest standard we have to follow, and we follow it. We're involving them on different stages. Even a part of the planning, there was, there is a different state committee within the government dealing with these people for all these years. So immediately after war, after liberation of these territories, they started new series of meetings with these people, asking questions. So the start of the communication with local residents was that stage when we started asking general questions about would they like to go back or not, because 30 years of occupation is a long time. There is a generation which never been on their motherland. They have families, working place, kids here. And then when we started our work on planning documents, of course we had series of meetings with, of course we did our part of homework first, because we analyzed the territory. We consider a lot of new facts. It is a tragedy what happened to that region. It is a tragedy for many families, for environment, for infrastructure. That's worst possible what happened to that part of Azerbaijan. But meanwhile, we have to look ahead in the future, and we have to use this opportunity to plan, to do proper planning, because the fact that city totally destroyed is also an opportunity to plan it from the scratch as a greenfield project. So once we have all data, once we already made some preliminary first decision about infrastructure, because many new roads, many new tunnels, many new water reservoirs for airports, which never was there, some already operational already. Then you see how big can be the particular settlement in future. Then you're considering some natural facts about the area. And that's when we start talking to people about, we introduce first of all what we rediscovered now about this particular settlement, why this settlement is going to be important in connection with next city settlement, industrial park, or transit hub, and etc. So you have to share this general vision with local residents to let them be on the same page with you. And then you ask them, what is your feeling about it? What do you wish to keep in this settlement, which you remember, which you can describe? And it's about everything. It's about buildings, patterns, architecture, construction materials. It's about certain particular place. In some cities, they talk about one huge tree, which was there, and every place has its symbol or symbols. So it's important to hear from people about that. And then you're trying to consider all these desires, comments, and then you do your planning, and then you're going back to these people. This is how we see what you expect. And of course, then again, some series of new comments. They help a lot to do, because you sitting here in Baku trying to plan city or village in different part of region, you're doing it for those people, so you have to consider their opinion about it. There was a lot of work done so far in previous years under leadership of First Vice President to protect our cultural heritage, and of course we have same approach for the occupied territories too. And definitely we have to consider historical architectural heritage before start planning. But unfortunately, most of the monument totally destroyed. There was about 1,000, more than 900 monuments fixed by legislation back in the Soviet time. Of course, there was more buildings or complexes which you can also consider as historical architectural monuments, but most of them was destroyed. Even mosques, out of 67, 63 of them was totally destroyed and 4 was hardly damaged. There are remains of them. We're trying to restore those which we can. Ministry of Culture working hardly in this direction. And of course we trying and have to get inspiration from those heritage. But meanwhile, we now designing and building new cities. They have to be within modern trends, requirements of the residents. We're working with many architects, both local and international, and trying to follow trends which we have globally. So I think it's a good mixture of heritage, construction materials, which were used there for years, for centuries, and then you transform them into new design language. But you can feel, I think, in every new project, a little touch of that historical heritage. This is specific requirement which we identified for ourselves, and it was a vision given by Mr. President and First Vice President to us. I think we all now a bit more smarter than yesterday in many aspects of our life. There is smart component in everything. We have smartphones. We used to have phones, but they were not smart enough, probably. And same with urban planning, urban development. The philosophy of it, I think, is to use technologies, techniques of planning, of construction, of daily management, operation, which allows you to save more resources, to efficiently use resources you have. And it starts even before planning or construction of particular settlements. It starts even with energy resources, which you now trying to have more alternative, renewable. And then while you planning a settlement, you trying to design and build an infrastructure which will allow you to keep the city or village sustainable for many, many years. There are a lot of smart city, smart village concepts globally. Each and every region or state have their own set of smart solutions. There are tens, hundreds of smart solutions. It's always about efficiency and economy. You need to invest at certain stage in order to have efficient enough model which will allow you to have sustainable house or quarter or city. It's about waste management. It's about efficient usage of energy. It's about environment, and of course you're trying to make life of every resident, daily life, more comfortable. It's about new applications. It's about quick access to number of social services which have to be in the city first of all, and then access to them. We're trying to implement 15-minute city concept. You have to have the infrastructure around you. Distances should be designed the way when you able to access whatever you need during the day within 15 minutes only. You're going to work, to school, to hospital, to park. You're walking maximum 15 minutes. So if it is a big enough city, then you're going by sub-centers which have everything you need on a daily basis. Agdam is the biggest. It's 100,000 population city. But even with the small cities, you still have to think about several sub-centers. Any school, you don't well, there are different sizes of school, but even biggest, it's for certain number of students. So you have to forecast how many people will live there, how they will be distributed in the city, and then for which part of them you need one school and where you put another school, and the same with other social services, same with public spaces, transport infrastructure. You have to think about mobility and etc. So big or small, it's about number of sub-centers, but you should have them. Urban planning is a particular job, but it's very much connected to many other areas of activity. We are within the government with certain role, but we have to work very closely with many others. And in terms of energy, Ministry of Energy in charge of it, but we together they identified the vision. They counted number of sunny days a year, and etc., etc., considered everything. There was clear statement by Mr. President. It's going to be paradise. It's going to be green economy, green energy zone. So then we, together with colleagues from other relevant institutions, identify proper land, proper size. What we have to do to allocate proper space for particular functionality and consider many such decisions for the region, for settlements. So yes, there are going to be a lot of alternative energy production. We already have big areas identified for that. There are more than 20 hydropower plants with total power of more than 110 megawatts already in different regions in Lachin, Kelbecer, Zengilan, etc. There are plants of other hydropower plants, the solar power plants in Jabrail, in other regions, parts of the region going to be there. So yes, it's challenging, but it is very needed. It's time. We considering that part of Azerbaijan as kind of urban lab. We now there testing a lot of new approaches. And it is successful test already in many areas, and it definitely will be affecting the other part of the country in coming years. This question was about energy, but this new approach we implemented in many ways, even in management of the settlements. You know, there is a new institution introduced the special representative of the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan. There is an executive power institute for many years. Currently, they are still with population of these regions because population was displaced, and they are with them. So this new institution, it's also a test, and I think it is also a successful test. It's more efficient instrument to coordinate a huge number of works, and as I said, there is a special coordination headquarter. Head of this headquarter is the head of administration of Mr. President. All the government members, including myself, are member to that headquarter. So there are a number of working groups within this institution, this coordination body. One of them, urban planning, responsible for urban planning issues, headed by my deputy. So there are many different ways of try and implementation, which is different from daily, of course, depending on project. And well, this is a top priority issue for Azerbaijan. Mr. President announced it, issue number one. So we have to achieve certain goals. You know, there is a state program called Great Return. First stage of this state program for 2022-2026. We have very particular tasks, 100 settlements to be designed and built, 140,000 people should be relocated. So we have to finish these tasks, even maybe faster sometime if possible. So you have to deal with it daily. There are a number of working groups, there are subgroups, there are expert level meetings almost daily, starting from planning, land allocation, projects review. It is a complex work, but it is efficient, it gives result. You now having this format, having this level of involvement, you are able to have better decisions, better quality decisions, and of course faster than in traditional system. Yes, and that's the reason we need to be fast, but safety first. The mining is an issue, and it really takes a lot of time. Well, so far we cleaned less than 10% of the area. That's really a huge obstacle, I would say biggest obstacle. Then you need to do proper planning. You need to take time to do proper planning. The complex, the systematic approach is needed, because we're talking about years, tens of years ahead, with so many stakeholders, private sector representatives, government, NGOs involved in it. So we already have a lot of separate groups, including private sector representatives, who are making their decisions and doing things. So plan is needed to let everybody consider it for their decisions. But there is a pressure, we have to be quick and we have to provide. Already there are 5 settlements welcomed their residents, 5,400 people so far relocated in these 2 cities and 3 villages. And it is now, it took some time to plan. We fixed master plans for all cities. We finished planning of most of the villages. within this first Great Return program. So now speed is higher. Now you're building, providing an infrastructure and letting people go back. More than 3 years passed. 4.5 thousand people returned so far. By the end of this year, we expect at least 20,000 people return to 20 settlements, 5 cities, 15 villages, and then each and every month and year it will be faster and faster. Definitely, we're trying to refer to best practices, global best practices, together with big number of local individual architects, local design bureaus. We're also working with international partners. Most of the master plans for cities, I mean the bigger scale projects, most complex decisions which need to be made as soon as possible. That's where we involved international partners. We working very closely with relevant international institutions, the relevant UN body, UN Habitat agency, which we working closely for last years. We following their instructions, guidance. We taking part in their initiatives. We organized number already international big events, forums here. There is a National Urban Forum, which is just by title national. It is international event, which we organized together with UN Habitat already for 2 years. First 2022 it was in Agdam city. So this regenerated cities already has they has first of course infrastructure, they have first social projects finished, they have dwellings, the houses, but they also has conference infrastructure for having conferences. Even before then, people went back. So in Agdam, very quickly was proper space developed, and it hosted hundreds of experts, and we discussed a lot of actual issues, which are not just Azerbaijan issues. Post-conflict recovery today is one of the priority issues globally. Unfortunately, there are so many conflicts and so big need to have mechanisms, approach for that post-conflict recovery. And Azerbaijan here, I think, introduced already its successful model. We hear very positive feedbacks from international community, and these forums, as I mentioned, in Agdam was first, second was in Zengilan, and we're now preparing for the third one, which will hopefully be within the COP event, more or less on the same time. We aiming at decision made, we will host World Urban Forum by 2026. So Azerbaijan made significant steps in order to consider best practices, and based on them to introduce its own model. And I think we're doing it successfully. So there is a very big participation from international community. First of all, the professional community, the planners, designers, experts in this area. And we will open more and more sectors, I think, in future, depending on stage of development of each and every settlement or part of the region. We already supporting. It's not just post-conflict, it's post-crisis. We're already supporting our brothers from Turkey after earthquake, Azerbaijani professionals building residential complex in city Kahramanmaraş, one of the most affected by the earthquake. We trying, our professionals now trying to support Ukraine in Irpin, some social projects, cultural buildings, housing, and of course we keep doing it here because we need to finish so much work here. Probably, I mean, I already mentioned there is a kind of Azerbaijani model of it. I think years ahead we will be able to introduce it in more clear shape to the global community. 2026, when we will host, City of Baku will host World Urban Forum. That's the biggest event. Once 2 years, it's organized in different countries by UN Habitat. That year going to be end of our first Great Return program. So I believe by that time we will be able to present more tangible results of this work. I don't think we are quick enough. We have to be quicker. As I said, it takes time to plan. It takes time to properly organize, to structure everything. But I'm sure speed will be different soon.